call me old man Wade.
Damn you, old man!
Wait.
Old ass man.
Shut up, old man. You smell like fart.
No, man!
Old man.
He's so old, he got a podcast on cassette.
Fuck, you're old.
Damn it, Wade.
You know what it is, man? I hate sitting next to people. So, like, I go to Lux. Because I just, like, I need the elbow room. Like, you know what I mean? I need the peace. I don't want some, like, little kid sitting next to me, like, screaming and shit. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I was so into the movie that, like, if something was happening, Maria told me after the movie, she was like, there was, like, this dude in front of us arguing, like, on the other side of Lux. He was like, yo, can you please stop kicking my chair? Can you please stop kicking my girl's chair? And he was like, yo, I'm not kicking your girl's chair. And he was like, I can feel someone kicking my girl's chair. And, like, he was, like, polite. And then he got, like, I guess, like, got, like, hood with it. And then I guess Maria said she was watching it. And as that was going on, she saw the dude's feet, like, slowly go back to the floor. And then him slowly lean back. Maria was like, yo, Mark's going to get up and fuck this dude up. And later on, I was just like, I didn't hear anything, man. I was zoned out.
Yo, I hate shit like that, bro. I've been close to so many fights in the movie theater.
I didn't bother with that shit, man. Anyway, welcome to the Old Man Wade Show. I am your host, the God of Stubborn, the Lord of Laughter, the Sire of Sarcasm, Old Man Wade. And I'm sitting here with my co-host, Supa Woke Javi.
So we're just going to get into it like that?
Yeah, we're just going to get right into it. I was going to chop it up with an ad that, like, as an intro, but I'm just going to get right into it.
Yo, I'm trying to get out of here before you spoil Endgame for me. So.
I'm not going to spoil Endgame.
Yo, listen. I know you're not, but I don't trust anybody. My heart's cold.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fuck around and have you just go.
I'm on day 2 of my social networking embargo. So, yeah, I'm avoiding all things.
I need to get off social media in general, man. Like, I think it's just going to be Old Man Wade Show and nothing.
You're out here typing mad hard. You know, don't let these people get to you.
It's just annoying, man. He's like, no, don't say that. I'm like, no one said anything, man. We're voicing our opinions just like you are, dog.
Yeah.
Like, don't be fucking angry. Like, it's not that fucking serious on any level.
I think people just go on social. I think certain people they go on social network for the express reason to just, you know, be contrarian, like express opposite points of views, just cause, you know, general chaos and disorder.
Yeah, I think after this weekend, man, because me and my wife are going on a health kick to kind of get ourselves situated. I think that's going to be part of my mental health. Adding to that, I think if it's not the Old Man Wade Show, I'm just not fucking with social media in general. Like, Twitter's fine because only people I follow are people that I give a shit about.
Yeah.
And if I hear anybody like start typing about how they're with Trump, I just fucking unfollow them.
Yo, so I don't take anything seriously like that on social networking just because I don't know, my brain doesn't work that way. But I definitely understand it being aggravating, and especially after the last article you wrote that's on oldmanwade.com.
Yeah.
Toxic fans are ruining things we love.
Because people are fuck yeah, man. And again leads to the point, man. Like, it's like, dog, like, voicing an opinion isn't saying you're wrong. We're just voicing an opinion. Like, no one said, yo, you're wrong for the way you felt. Yeah. My response was just like, who cares? That scene was fun. Why does it matter?
People get upset. I think that's what gets to me, right? Like, I get the frustration. Like, I get being frustrated during a difficult conversation, but when people get angry just off the bat because they disagree with what you have to say, I don't get that. I don't understand investing that much emotions into something or someone you don't even know, for the most part. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
whatever.
You're 100% right, man. And that's the funny thing about it is, like, why is it that serious? But these are also the same people who, like, probably don't vote. These are the same people who don't fucking give a shit about the things that go on in the world. But you take away their fucking, like, their comic book characters, and they're ready to beef. Like, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I love the characters that I love. You know what I mean? Like, big Deadpool guy. I'm a fan of Wolverine. I'm a fan of fucking Multiple Man. I'm a fan of a lot of these characters. And I'm still pissed at what they did to fucking Deadpool and Wolverine Origins. I'm still pissed at that. But I'm also not finding 20th Century Fox and then sending them like hate mail and hate tweets and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? And even in my article,
you're not threatening to murder anybody's kids or anything like that?
Nah.
Because a Merc without the mouth didn't have a mouth?
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's, like, I don't care enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, why?
I don't think there's anything wrong with caring, right? Like, but I think you're right. Like, you know what? you're married, right? Life isn't perfect for anybody, but you know, you're not a lonely person for the most part, right? Like you don't get the majority of your happiness from your interactions on social media or whatever validation some of these people might be looking for by doing some of this stuff. Like you don't need that shit.
Nah.
So, you know.
But that's the point, so it kills me that like so let's just get right into it, man. I started thinking about this article a day or two after the most recent WrestleMania.
You want to put the article in?
We will. Well, I'm gonna get to that. So, and Sasha Banks and Bailey, they, I guess the way it was reported, they staged some sort of protest after WrestleMania. They went in the locker room and just laid on the ground. Yeah. And that was just their protest. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
And this was like not staged. This was like a legit protest.
Legit protest. Yeah, this isn't like part of the script or anything like that. They were upset that they lost the title so quick, where they lost them, and so on and so forth. Sasha Banks has also been on record saying that she would be disappointed if she wasn't the first woman in the main event of WrestleMania. Yeah. Which didn't happen, but her and Bailey were also the first women tag team champions. So that's something that can still go into the record books. Yeah. Now, so she was upset. The next day, she canceled her appearance on Wendy Williams. She went like zero dark on wrestling. She unfollowed the WWE and followed one of their competitors.
Oh, she was heated.
She was heated.
She was mad.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So she just for her. So it was. So I'm watching people, and people are calling her like ungrateful and a spoiled brat and all this other stuff, and I'm looking at this going, you realize like this is still a human being, right? It's their dream job, but it's still a job. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone is within their rights to feel a certain way about how they've been treated. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So it would be like it would be like me. My dream job is to be a writer. Like, I want to write the rest of my life.
You lazy bum.
Yeah, I know. That's what it'll be. Yeah. It'll be you lazy bum. How come you just don't write whatever they tell you to write? Yeah. It's like why am I? If someone said to me, "Oh, we want you to write 5,000 words on why Trump is the best president of all time," in good conscience, I couldn't do that. Yeah. I would feel a certain way about that. Yeah. And someone's like, "Well, why don't you just do it?
You're being ungrateful."
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Yeah. So it's like everyone is within their right to feel a certain way about it. Do I agree with the way she went about it? I don't know. That's the other thing. I wasn't there. None of these people who were complaining were there to find out exactly what happened. All they know is what was quote unquote reported by the media. And for all we know, this could all be a work too. This could all be bullshit. Yeah. But everyone has something to say. But I'm just like, it's a job. She has the right to do whatever she wants. Like, you know what I mean?
Can I play devil's advocate?
Right ahead.
So I hear the counter argument to this, which I don't necessarily agree with. Let me just say that off the bat, right? But, it's an argument. It says that these are celebrities, right, for the most part.
Yes.
They're they chose to be exposed to the public.
Yes.
So, shouldn't they expect this type of reaction from some fans?
Should they expect it? Yes.
Yeah.
I can agree with that 100%. Once you put yourself in a certain platform or a certain spotlight, there are certain things that come with that. Yeah. Like I remember having this debate with my wife years ago, and she brought up a good point, and it's also something that was brought up in the TV show The Shield. When you're a celebrity, there are certain things you just can't do anymore. Like, you just can't straight up go get your food anymore. Like, you can't just go anywhere and do the things you want to do. You can't just send your kids to any school. So you'll be getting more money you're compensated for the things that happen. Yeah. Right? So, yes, you should expect certain things, and you're supposedly paid for that. That said, people are just dickheads. Because, like, that same person who's yelling at Sasha Banks or tweeting at her in all caps because she's, like, quote-unquote, a baby or should just be grateful, those are the same people who, with the roles reversed, they might do the same thing. Like, I choose to have my job. I can quit whenever I want. Yeah. I can just say, fuck it, I'm not coming in anymore. But if I want to keep my job and if I want to continue to get paid,
you got to deal with certain shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I gotta shovel the shit. Sometimes I get to watch people shovel the shit.
Well, I think too. We like to support workers, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Like people say they like to support workers, but then when people make a certain amount of money or they're a certain amount of fame, I don't know if we see them as workers per se, right?
Yes.
I think that's kind of effed up because, you know, we don't have a lot of unions nowadays, but when workers are represented by unions, right? We support, a lot of us support these unions when they demand for better, you know, working conditions or better pay or whatever it may be on the behalf of their workers.
Absolutely.
If you're a celebrity, you know, you may have a union, you may be represented by a union, but at the same time, you're by yourself in a lot of ways. And you bring a lot of value to whatever you're doing, right? Like you're bringing, like, I don't know much about wrestling, as much of the fans of the show know by far, but I know that these celebrities, they make wrestling. Without their celebrity status, without their fans, there would be no wrestling.
Exactly.
So she has leverage that she can use, hopefully, to get some of her demands. Like if she feels like she's being treated unfairly, she should be able to use her celebrity, right? The leverage she has to demand better treatment.
But who wouldn't do that at their job though? You know what I mean?
A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. Only because most people, I think a lot of people should do that, right? Even if you're a retail worker, you're working a 9 to 5.
Look, you know,
a lot of people don't feel like they have that leverage.
Let's take my job for example.
Yeah.
I work a job. I'm not gonna say where I work or how I work or who I work for.
Yeah.
But because I've been there as long as I have,
Yeah.
I'm allowed certain things that other people aren't allowed to do.
Yeah.
But it's not just my longevity that makes this happen. It also helps that I'm a really good employee.
Yeah.
And sometimes I eat a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I'll take that because I know when I need a day off last minute, I'll get that last minute day off.
Yeah.
When I need to stand up for my employees, my word holds a little more weight because I don't do that for everybody. Because I'm a stand-up individual. Yeah. So because of that, sometimes I eat a little shit. Yeah. But I also outweigh. But the good that comes out of this a lot of times outweighs the bad.
Well, you bring value, right? So you
yes. But that's your point.
And you know your value.
Yes.
You seem to be
not really. I'm learning my value.
Well, I think it's based off of what you said, right? Like I think you know your value. You're more aware of your value than a lot of people, right?
Yes.
I think, and the fact that you're comfortable in saying that, listen, I'm bringing something to this job. Like you guys need me. Right? So I know that I can expect, you know, a little bit of leeway when it comes to certain things.
Absolutely.
I think that's understanding your value and leveraging that.
Yeah, and Sasha Banks has become one of the more popular wrestlers because she's black. I say this for a reason. All of a sudden now, it's like, oh, they're taking pictures of her on the red carpet as WWE superstar Sasha Banks on the BET red carpet. Yeah. She's like related to Snoop by she's like his second cousin or some shit like that. Yeah. So there's ways to do this leverage, like John Cena, The Rock, perfect examples of people who have taken their massive celebrity from wrestling and turned that into something else. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they know their worth. But on the same side of that, you have these same people who are like who the fuck is The Rock to not come back and wrestle? Yeah. The guy making $15 to $20 million.
Well, I think then that speaks to you kind of spoke to what some of these, you know, fans, kind of in their mentality that they don't understand. They don't understand what some of these celebrities are going through.
Yes.
Right, and I think for the most part, I think for a lot of people, unfortunately, they work jobs where they're probably disrespected and they have to eat a lot of shit because they personally don't know their worth or how to leverage that, right?
Yeah.
So they go yo, I'm working 9 to 5, making whatever. I'm not trying to shame anybody because if you're working, you're working. That's great.
Yeah, fuck right? That. I don't have the most glorious job in the world, but I also don't shit on a person. I don't shit on a person who's flipping my burgers because I'm there because I want a fucking burger.
But let's be real.
You know what I mean?
Some people are struggling, right?
Yeah.
Some people are struggling and they're like, yo, I'm struggling working this job, whatever, right? and I'm not complaining, but you're making $1 million or whatever,
Yeah.
and you're complaining. Who the hell are you?
But
But people don't understand that there's somebody that knows their worth.
But even beyond that, the person who I'm not gonna say all the time because we know there are people who are privileged enough to be able to slide in through the back door.
Facts.
But a lot of wrestlers, they had to work to get where they are.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they just woke. A lot of these guys, not all of them, and just celebrities in general. A lot of celebrities don't just wake up one day and then they're celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them aren't like that. So a lot of them have to work their way up.
Yeah.
The Rock had almost nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know if you've heard the story, but like he was down to like his last $7. I think the name of his company's like $7 Entertainment or something like that because he was down to like his last $7 or something like that.
Been there.
So, yeah. You know what I mean? So he knows what that's like to have to do that.
Yeah.
Now he was lucky enough that his father was a wrestler. He got in through that, but after that he had to put in the work to be better than everyone else. Because when he first got there, they had this gimmick for him that was just kind of trash. But like, you know what I mean? He found a way to finagle it and be better than what he was expected to be. Now he's one of the hottest people in Hollywood. So he had to actually work that. And you would assume that someone who's getting yelled at by customers, getting chastised by their bosses, like, you know what I mean? You'd figure those people would have more respect for someone else just because they wouldn't want that same thing to happen to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where the befuddlement comes in on my end. Because I look at it and was like, well, how would you feel if someone did that to you at your job? Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't like what's the phrase? I don't come to work and slap the dick out of your mouth. You know what I mean? So like, who the fuck am I to like criticize? Do some things annoy me? Absolutely, I do. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not going on Twitter and typing in "Dear Celebrity XYZ ABC, fuck you, I hope you die." Like, I don't do that.
I do.
You don't do that.
Nah, I do.
Like, you know what I mean? So like, who am I to do that, man? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, which brings me to the article.
Yeah.
So I wrote an article, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's called "Toxic Fans Are Ruining the Things We Love."
You don't know the title of your own article on that?
No, because I'm terrible with
You're
titles.
old.
Old and terrible, actually.
Yeah.
So, what is it called?
Toxic fans are ruining the things we love.
That's what I said.
Yeah. No, I don't.
So, and I know, and another thing that popped in my head was, and I'll only talk about the one thing I added on there. If you want to read the article, it's on oldmanwade.com. But one of the things that I added to the article was a comic book writer by the name of Dan Slott. Mm-hmm. He's currently writing the Fantastic Four. But
we need to review that, by the way.
I haven't even started reading it yet, but
Yeah.
we can do that.
Yeah.
We can definitely do that.
I need to catch up. I read the first few issues.
So he wrote Spider-Man for years. Mm-hmm. Like his run of Spider-Man just finished, I think, within the last like 12 months. And he was, like I said, he wrote it for, I want to say at least 5 years, possibly more. Yeah. During this course, he wrote a story called The Superior Spider-Man. Where
I love the Superior Spider-Man. Sorry, I get excited.
So did I.
Every time anybody mentions Superior Spider-Man, I get excited.
So when I heard about it, all I heard was how bad it was, how terrible it was, and I was like,
what's up?
I was like, really? Because he's a great writer. So I was like, all right, fuck it.
You didn't hear that from me. I just want you to know. Nobody heard that shit from me.
So I decided, let me go take a look.
Yeah.
So I found the first like trade on sale, and I'm reading this, and I'm going, wow, this is fucking great. Yeah. Why is everyone mad at this? I thought it was real. I thought it was amazing. It was new. It was something different. And I actually tweeted him saying, hey, I don't know what everyone's mad about. This Superior Spider-Man run is good. And he in all caps he went, thank you. And I didn't get like why he was so appreciative of it.
What was it? I don't know if I need to know, but what was the criticism necessarily for Superior Spider-Man? I think
people would, and I could be wrong about this, and you people listening, you can do your research, but I know the biggest thing was like it wasn't Spider-Man. It
wasn't Spider-Man. That was the whole point. Like
it wasn't Peter Parker. It took away the. It's been years. They can get over it. Yeah. But like, it took away the essence of Spider-Man, I guess. But I think that was the point.
Literally the point. I hate people sometimes. Sorry, go ahead.
But so I'm reading this and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Yeah. There were some things about it I didn't like, but for the most part, I was like, yo, this is really cool, really creative. I'm glad that someone actually went outside that box to try something new.
It created an awesome character. Young Octo Octavius is probably one of my favorite. I don't know. Can you call them anti-heroes?
I don't see why not. Anti-hero might work because he was murking people.
Oh yeah.
Like, and not even in the sense of like, oh, I'll beat you down. Like, he shot some dude.
Oh no, he was going ham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking, and I'm mainly there's a recent one of Superior Spider-Man that's pretty good.
Oh, when he's like, he's got like the green, white, and black suit or something like that, or is he back to rocking the black and red?
Black and red.
I think it's Superior Octopus, which is the same thing essentially. But so yeah, I got the article. Amazing Spider-Man writer Dan Slott receives death threats via social media. Following the leak of Amazing Spider-Man 700, so this is old, late last week, series writer Dan Slott said he would be going radio silent about the issue. While Dan Slott remained quiet about the comic, the creator has remained visible and vocal on social media, including Twitter and Facebook, saying that he has been receiving death threats over the events of his current and concluding Amazing Spider-Man arc. In response to these tweets, the writer has announced a zero-tolerance policy toward receiving threats, declaring he is now reporting each one of these to the proper authorities.
Yeah, I'm saying the authorities have a zero-tolerance policy for giving threats.
Yeah.
So you guys should probably chill.
So he goes, reality check. There is no such thing as a funny death threat, Slott said that day on social media via Facebook, especially if you tag someone in it. If you think because something is happening to a fictional character that you need to type out a death threat and send it to someone, you need help. If you follow my Twitter, you know I've taken a devilish bit of delight in reposting these, mainly because they usually make the overpowered look at Raving Loon, and for a time that was fun to me. Well, that's over. From now on, they all get reported. The end. Slott's zero-tolerance policy was also broadcasted over his Twitter, appearing in an individual tweet in his profile at the top of the feed. When contacted by CBR, Slott declined to comment on the situation. So I actually hit him up and asked him like, about some of the worst things that he said, and he responded with something that made a lot of sense to me. He said that he wasn't going to tell me what it was or say what it was because he didn't want to give that person any attention. Yeah. Which I get.
No, I mean, that's, again, a lot of these people, I believe, they're doing this just to get validation from whatever creepy corner of the internet they come from. They're looking for validation. It's being part of a group for these people. And if you say their name, especially somebody I feel like they admire some of these people that they're going after. Right?
Like, I won't say the dude's name who shot that young unarmed black man.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I won't even say his name.
Yeah.
And every time someone does, I'm like, dog, stop saying his name. Stop typing his name. Mm-hmm. Like, you're just giving power to that situation.
Exactly.
So I actually hit up a couple of other comic book writers and podcaster, comedian, burlesque clown named Kiki Maroon, who gave me a quote. And some of the stuff that people have gone through is just disgusting. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, to use the word again, it befuddles me how people just don't understand that. Like, that's not cool. Yeah. You can't threaten someone with physical harm, death. Someone got threatened. Someone said, I'm going to rape you. What kind of nonsense is that?
Yeah, I mean,
it's never that serious.
Like, who? Like, you? What are you thinking? Like, shortly before you're typing that, like, oh, this is gonna go over well. Like, I don't get it. The picture I have of these people in my head, it's just, I can't take them seriously because I just picture somebody in their mom's basement or attic or living room, I don't know, typing away, no friends, no life, and the only piece of enjoyment they get is by posting the most horrific, disgusting things you can.
Yeah, and that's an issue. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I have no problem insulting these people either. Specifically because it's like you have taken time out of your day to specifically tell someone that you want to cause them physical harm, and you hope they die.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand fuckboy 45. I don't want him dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I'd be cool if he went to jail. I'm cool with that, but I don't wish death on him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish horrible things on the dude who created that the White Sheep Clan. You know what I mean?
Ku Klux Klan.
I don't even want to say their fucking names. Fuck them niggas. Yeah, niggas, ignorant motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I don't wish death upon them. What is it? Jay-Z has a great line. Survive the drought. I wish you well. How sick am I? I wish you health. I wish you wheels. I wish you wealth. I wish you insight so you can see for yourself. And that's one of the deepest lines I've ever heard, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, I wish you could understand my point of view on these things. Like, you know what I mean? These guys are sitting there typing away, and it's like a lot of it has to do with, like, they don't, like you said, they don't have any lives. Yeah. They don't have any friends. And a lot of times, these people who don't have these lives and don't have these friends, it's mostly because they were assholes to somebody.
And let me get this straight, because let me say this as well, because I know that some people listening who may fall into the category of troll, and they go like, well, I'm happy in my life.
Cool.
You know, I got whatever. And if that's true, that's not good either. That just makes you a sociopath. Like, why the hell are you... That's another issue. Taking out your time to make somebody miserable when you're not miserable yourself. That's a whole nother set of issues. So, you're not safe either. Just wanted to put that out there.
Nah.
Yeah.
Like I'm just trolling.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing, like, when I record with Brandon, sometimes I say things to him just to get him riled up because it's part of the show. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? He understands that. I'm not saying, like, I'll disagree with him on a comic book topic. I'll disagree with him on a movie.
Comic Book 101, starring Old Man Wade and Brandon Carr.
Yeah.
Check it out.
SoundCloud and iTunes.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, I will disagree with him specifically because I know that, like, it adds for good content. Because I know how good he is at like, expressing his point. You know what I mean? Like, you'll do that with me sometimes, and I'll do that with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when they're like real issues, nah, man, I'm not doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that noise, man.
I'll force you to do it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. People are trash, man.
Well, yo, I just want to say, really good article. It was very informative. After I read it, and guys, check it out, man. It's a really good expose on some of the nastier parts of the internet, and I think we might put it on the article, so you probably can listen to that while you read. Yeah. So when this episode comes out, when you go to oldmanwade.com, you'll also have a link for the article. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna sip a beer, and we'll be right back. Woo.
This is a Main Hustle Media podcast. Hey y'all, this is Charmaine, aka Mixed Girl Maine, host of Militantly Mixed, the podcast about race and identity from the mixed race perspective. If you are of mixed race or multi-ethnic heritage, this show is here to represent for you. And if you're a monoracial person that is just curious about what us mixed folks go through, this show is for you too. You can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, or most any other podcast platform. Militantly Mixed is a Main Hustle Media podcast, and don't forget to be your mixed ass self. Main Hustle Media. Turn your side hustle into your main hustle.
And we're back at the Old Man Wade Show. Don't forget, oldmanwade.com. You can find us there. Don't forget to check out my other podcast on the Black Rabbit Podcast Network, BLAQUERABBIT.com. Like I said, Comic Book 101 with Brandon Carr and myself. And again, Javi's got some Supa Woke's got some articles on there. More will be coming. You just did one on Game of Thrones last week.
Another one, I'm thinking of doing that before. Expect a Game of Thrones article from me a day or two before each episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, or maybe one after, depending, because we got lives and shit. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So we can talk, so we'll get that up. There will be more articles coming on oldmanwade.com. Let's talk about, but since we were on the conversation of comic books, let's get into War Realms.
Yo.
So you are a big Jason Aaron Thor guy.
Yes.
I didn't stop reading. I kept up with what he was doing with Jane Foster Thor. Mm-hmm. I checked out for a little while because I was broke, but I kind of dove into it to see what I missed.
Yeah.
And she was awesome as Thor.
Oh, yeah. Probably, this might be controversial, but she might be my favorite Thor.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
She was a really good Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a different Thor.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she was a different Thor, and to some people, she was a better Thor than cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? You like what you like. I'm not gonna tell anyone to not like something. Like, you know what I mean? But this has been built up. Jason Aaron has been building this up. What, like
for
like 5
years? God of Thunder years. Like,
yeah.
It's been a while.
God Bomb.
Yeah.
God Butcher.
A lot of, especially the way the last Mighty Thor ended, starting with issue 700, I believe. A lot of that plays into what's happening with War of the Realms. A lot Unworthy Thor. It's Marvel's main event for the summer. I'm assuming, unless something crazy happens, and everybody's getting tossed into this War of the Realms. Do you want to give a quick refresher of what's happening, or?
Well, you could.
I don't mind it. I could.
Why don't you bring in the background of Malekith? Because you know that better than I do.
Yeah.
How the war actually started. Well, first off, let's just say, for people who don't know, the 9 realms are now 10 realms.
Yeah, because they included heaven.
Yes.
Yes.
So now it's the 10 realms.
Mm-hmm.
And Malekith has set on to rule all of them.
Well, I don't even know if he's trying to rule them at this point. I think so. Malekith is a dark elf who was raised in a pretty bad time for dark elves. There was a war. There was a small war of the realms at that time, and you find out that his main duty as a child was just burning dead bodies that weren't even dead, just bodies that were too weak for battle.
Oh, what was it? The one I read, he was like, "You're either fighting or you're useless."
Yeah,
and I don't see you fighting.
Exactly.
I was like, "Well, shit."
And this is Malekith as a kid,
and
right?
this is all Loki's fault.
And this is so yeah, this is why I love Jason Aaron's run on Thor. Only because it's so dense and complex. The way he's playing with time. We've talked about this before, but it's really complicated, and it's kind of hard to give us a quick synopsis of what's happening. But yeah, so let's ignore the Loki aspect for now. Okay. So Malekith right now, he's the big bad. So he pretty much started a war throughout these past 5 years. He was slowly doing this, a war that broke out among the entire 10 realms, and he slowly, right, either destroyed realms or took control of them. From hell to the realm of the ice trolls, the end of
Frost
the mighty
are the ice trolls?
Frost giants. I don't remember the Frost giants. Sorry.
Yeah.
The end of the mighty
the
Thor
light
run.
elves, the angels.
Yeah.
Like
fire
demons.
Exactly. So right now, fire demons. He has fire demons on his side. He has angels on his side. He has dark elves on his side. He has frost trolls on his side.
Frost elves. Trolls. Dwarves. If I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Asgard. Right. The one realm that would have protected us from Malekith's massacrations was destroyed by the Mangog at the end of the Mighty Thor run. So right now you have a weakened Odin in a destroyed Asgard, where most Asgardians are chilling in a brownstone in New York. So that's the state that we find the Marvel Universe in right now. And out of the blue, Malekith's war invaded Midgard, Earth.
The last of the realm to be invaded.
Yeah.
And he broke the Bifrost, if I'm not mistaken.
So the Bifrost was broken. I believe that happened in the Mighty Thor run. So a lot of the destruction that allowed the major steps of Malekith's war to happen happened at the end of Mighty Thor. I would suggest, if you want to start anywhere, start with Mighty Thor, issue number 700, the last one.
I would say even go further back, man.
Yeah, you could go further. Yeah.
I honestly think probably start with Original Sin.
Yes. So again, you're starting to find out that almost everything that happened Malekith was doing something in the background that caused this. All right, so that's Malekith. Loki still doesn't really understand where his part is where he played his part in this, right? So we know that Loki has a lot to do with what's happening. What we do know is that he spent some time traveling back to the past, where some of his actions influenced what we're seeing today, right?
Yeah.
However, it's so complicated and convoluted that not even Loki understands what he was doing. So that's another issue that makes this thing that makes this thing very interesting.
I kind of feel like he's going to end up playing a really big part in saving the day too.
Yeah, he's trying to. I don't want to really. At the moment, he's indisposed.
Yeah.
At the moment,
you caught up on that with the.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to spoil that for the people, but right now, Loki isn't really doing anything. But as we know, Loki doesn't really stay not doing anything for long. The major players in the War of the Realm right now, the major good guys, we're talking obviously Thor, but not just Thor. We're talking about a revamped Avengers team, and so with the War of the Realms, this is a god level war, right?
Yeah. This may be the biggest god level war we've seen.
Yeah.
In a very long time. I don't even know if Siege was on this level.
This is a whole different level. And again, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's bringing in. There's a Punisher arc. There's an X-Men arc.
That Punisher arc was
so
fucking good. I love the dude was like, rush him.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. But
we can break down the first couple of issues because realistically nothing was really spoiled. I won't say what happened to Thor. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
But I like how they set it up. They set it up in issue 1 like this was going to be light work for the heroes. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, it's just them. Yeah. Like Punisher, what was it? Like he uses iron, and he goes, I got a lot more where that came from.
Yeah, Punisher's just killing Dark Elves left and right.
Yeah. And I love Wolverine shows up. He starts killing people.
It's like I wonder if Antimanium will work too.
Yeah, sure enough.
Yeah, definitely does work.
So like that was cool. So like I love when the Punisher and Wolverine get together. So there's that.
Yeah.
And then you get like Spider-Man pops up, and then like you have all these heroes fighting these fighting Malekith's army.
Yeah.
And again, like
these are magical creatures.
Yeah. And like the heroes are making short work of them.
Yeah.
But the problem is they're severely outnumbered.
Severely. These are realms. These are whole like planets worth of warriors that they have to fight.
Yeah. And these aren't just like any regular day warriors. No. These are like not every regular everyday like beings. These are like warriors.
Yeah.
These are like essentially soldiers coming out of there and doing their thing.
And keep in mind, and the realms usually fight amongst themselves.
Yes.
And that's a key, and that kind of kept everything in check. The realms fighting amongst themselves, one.
Yeah.
Odin and Asgard kind of keeping the peace.
Yeah. But with Asgard pretty much being non-existent now.
And then the rest of the realms either destroyed or working with Malekith.
And like a lot of them not being able to travel in between these realms now, except for Malekith, who created the Dark Bridge. Or was it Dark Bridge or Black Bridge?
The Black Bifrost.
The Black Bifrost.
Yes.
So like, and this is one of the reasons I think why people have such issue with Thor: Dark World, because that wasn't a Malekith that we need him in. The Malekith was dark, but he was like Joker level dark.
Why was I about to say Joker?
Because it's a perfect comparison.
He's the Joker with godlike powers.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. They even have a very similar figure too. Now that you think about it. So all this is going on, and something happens, and all the mortals end up away from the world.
Do we want to say what happened, or is that going to be too spoilery?
Maybe too spoilery.
Okay, yeah.
It's
a big battle in New York, right? So we say the battle comes to New York, obviously, because it's Marvel and everything.
But it's funny because it's actually all over the world too.
We're focused on the heroes, the Avengers,
the X-Men.
Thor's not there for other reasons.
Yes.
But just most of the New York heroes.
But it's like all of them, like all the way down to like Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Yeah. And they're fighting.
And I love what they're about to do with Daredevil.
Oh yeah! Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So they're fighting, they're going crazy, and then like you said, for reasons we don't want to get into because this literally just came out, they end up vanishing from the battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they put in one of my favorite scenes, and it's not spoiling anything, was Luke Wolverine, Luke Cage Wolverine, and Iron Fist talking, and Luke's acting like nothing happened with Wolverine. He's just like, whatever, business as usual.
Yeah, Wolverine's used to this shit.
Yeah, like, Luke's not paying any attention, and Danny Rand's like, weren't you dead? Yeah. Aren't you gonna talk about it? Not that none of us is being involved.
It's funny how Wolverine just appears now. Like, he's just here when for other heroes that aren't aware of like the circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like, they're like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And like everyone's like, weren't you dead?
Yep.
And it wasn't even like one of those things where like he was dead and then came right back.
Yeah.
It was like he lost his healing factor. He wasn't around as much. Then he died. He was gone for like years.
So you might be interested in this. I know you haven't read it yet, so I don't want to spoil. I'm not going to spoil it. But the Uncanny X-Men tie-in.
Yeah.
To this, they ask like, "Where's Wolverine?" Like they're looking for him. Like, where is he? So, but you're aware of where he's at the moment. So.
But it's funny because now it's getting back to normal, where it's like no one knows. Like Wolverine just disappeared. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so the writer Matthew Rosenberg, who writes Uncanny X-Men, who's actually also writing the Uncanny X-Men War of Realms, someone asked him, "Do I need to read War of Realms to read your Uncanny X-Men tie-in?" And he goes, "No, it's a standalone thing to kind of introduce the characters."
Yeah, I can see why. I personally would, just because any Marvel event, you're gonna want to know everything. You're gonna want to read our times. Like, you're not gonna need to, but don't argue with people about what's happening if you didn't read all the times, right?
Exactly.
Because you want to know the full story.
And it's funny, I really want to get all the tie-ins, and it's because it's funny because I'm on this diet now. Yeah. I'll have more money for comic books.
Excellent.
So, I'm super fucking excited, and they announced that Jane Foster is going to be a hero again. She's going to she's going to get her own Valkyrie series coming up.
Can we talk about the news about Jane Foster?
Oh, sure, why not?
She's no longer.
Oh no! Don't bring it up. That's big news. That's big news. That was issue 2, right?
That was that. I don't know if it's issue 1 or issue 2.
But like that just
happened. It just started.
I think matter of fact, I think issue 3 should be coming out this Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. But once it's over, we gotta do a full recap of this because this is, and the artwork is so damn good man.
So it's like you're seeing Captain America taking down Frost Giants with his shield, right?
Which is so dope.
You have Blade fighting Dark Elves, right? Like it's a type of event where we're gonna see like these mashups
that you would never see.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man fighting the Fire Demon. The Fire Demon was just annoyed that he wouldn't shut up.
Alongside of Valkyrie, I think. Was he fighting? Was it Valkyrie?
I'm not sure if it was Valkyrie or Freya.
It was somebody. He was fighting alongside an Asgardian, right? So you're seeing all the, and I think
it was Freya because he kept calling him Man Spider.
Exactly. Man of Spiders or something.
Yes.
One of the Asgardians sees him, is like, kill it before it lays eggs. Referring to Spider-Man.
Oh, this was great.
But and the thing, another thing that we talked about this before, but we also mentioned that throughout this 5-year span, throughout this Jason Aaron run of Thor has been gradually growing in strength.
Yes.
I think to a point now where he's at a level I don't think we've ever seen it.
Like, there was an issue where he was like deadly close to like the surface of the sun. His hammers were melting, and he was still like next to the sun.
But I don't think he was dipping. He was flying into the sun.
Yeah,
he was flying into the sun, and like you say, like the hammers that he's using, they're not his original hammer, but they were melting. That was his only limit.
Yeah,
and then there's a pivotal scene. This is Thor. This is about a month before War of the Realms started.
Yeah,
of him discussing some stuff with his dad. And there's an epic scene between him and his father.
Now you understand why I kept telling you, Doc, you need to read this.
I'm glad. Yeah.
But you know what I loved about what I love about the dynamic between Thor and Odin is that it's almost always changes, but it also always doesn't as well. So like they always hate each other, but there's always a level of respect. Yeah. That wasn't the case anymore. But Thor is pretty much like, fuck you, I'm done.
But the inner dialogue between the two, while they were having, can we talk about this? Well, I'll talk about it. This was months ago. If you haven't read it, read it. But there was a fight between Thor and Odin, right? That was a lot more even than we've ever seen. Usually Odin would just smack Thor around, right? But then we see a Thor powerful enough to go blow for Odin. What does that mean for Thor in the future? I have no idea, but I'm super excited, bro.
Yeah, like how much of this, if everything that happened in the future, is he changing?
Well, we know what happened, so we know.
We assume we know what happened,
true,
but we actually don't know what, if what's happening. Like, does he end up having? Because you got to remember, he talked to his older self, and while his memory was erased after that happened, we don't know if something happens that like makes him remember things that like that affect the future. Because we saw All-Father Thor and how he was rambling in his sleep. So I don't know if he's having flashbacks or if he's actually talking to his younger self. You know what I mean?
So we know. It's kind of these types of feats, talking to his older self, time really not meaning anything to him. Him being from what we know so far, him being one of the last living things in the universe when the universe dies, right? Like he and his power level being to where it is. Like, is Thor now at that Superman level, right? And I know that there's always been a discussion like who's stronger between comic book fans, whatever, right? Yeah. But Thor's always had weaknesses, right?
Absolutely.
Like he'll bleed, right?
Yeah.
Superman, not so much, right?
Unless it's like magic or kryptonite, you're not fucking with him.
Even today, there are plenty of heroes I think are physically stronger than him. I think there are plenty of characters in Marvel that are physically stronger than him.
The Hulk is stronger than him. She-Hulk now may be stronger than he is.
But I think she might be. But
what was the scene? He was like, "We practice now."
Yeah, but they may be physically stronger than him, right?
But they're not more powerful.
But then I'm more powerful, and then just like how Superman can just get away with all types of shit, right? Like,
yeah.
Are we gonna see a Thor that's almost like ridiculous in his feats, like impossible to beat, right?
Well, I don't think we'll ever see him being impossible to beat, but there's also parts of Jason Aaron's Thor that makes me wonder what's going to happen next. When he asked him, "Have you left Earth yet to become like the god of the sun or something like that?" Like, you know what I mean? It was like, okay, all right, cool. So we don't know exactly what's going to go on with this. And to hit the point home on how strong Thor is, Thor had just finished fighting a ton of people. He just finished killing Ben Grimm, who had the power of a god with a hammer with him, and fighting a Hulk, who was now the power of the Hulk with a hammer, who's now more powerful than he ever was. And Thor hit Hulk so hard in New York, he landed in Eastern Europe.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like, Thor has this thing where, and you can check it out. You can check my work on this. He doesn't use his full powers on mortals
ever. I don't think he uses it. I think he rarely uses his full power, no matter who he's
No, like he could break a lot of these people in half, but he just doesn't do it. But there was a run. I wish I would have researched this more. But there was a run. I know John Romita Jr. Drew it, and he was like, I saw Thor in a light that
I actually like that artwork. I'm not a fan of his artwork for most things, but I like the way he drew Thor.
Yes,
I like that. I really like his Thor one.
Yeah, it's a little boxy sometimes, but I liked the artwork.
It worked. It worked for Thor.
It worked for Wolverine, Enemy of the State too.
I noticed that. Yeah.
So they wrote this series, and he was breaking down Thor. So it was like beat him down, he wins. Like, he learns, he wins. And this is a record right around the time it wasn't Donald. Was it Donald Blake? I don't know if it was Donald Blake. It wasn't Donald Blake. It was somebody else who he was switching back and forth with from mortal to human. It wasn't Blake. I can't remember the other guy's name. I don't remember either. But it was a cool series because it was different, and Thor was actually like losing fights. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So it was different. Or like even when he was when J. Michael Straczynski was writing him, it was new because Thor had to attempt new feats. like restarting Asgard without his father. Now
that was crazy.
The Odin force was now the Thor force.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But he was still vulnerable to certain things. Like when the Destroyer was attacking him, he goes, "I can take the being out of the Destroyer, but it's going to leave me open to a blow that might kill me." Yeah. But he was willing to risk it. When like
Odin stated in the last issue, not the last issue, but the issue we referred to, like Thor is more of a god than he ever was.
Yeah,
or ever will be.
Like he was like and if if we're being honest about it, Thor is the greatest god and probably the greatest god in comic books period.
Yeah,
and I don't count
because he's so active.
Yes,
he's a hero. But he's a god.
Exactly. Like I don't consider Wonder Woman. I don't put Wonder Woman in that category because she's technically a demigod. Like, you know what I mean? But like,
now this guy was straight up birth of the earth and
Gaia
and Odin,
the god of the earth and the All-Father god. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, can you imagine if they had babies?
Who?
Wonder Woman and Thor.
That would be crazy. Yeah, we need
Wonder Thor.
Yo, we need more of those matchup comic books, man. I
miss those, man. They don't do them. They don't do them anymore. It's kind of sad, man, because those were actually pretty damn dope.
But do we have any more War of the Realms to talk about? Are you speculating about anything? Like, where do you see?
I got nothing, man. I don't want to. This is one of those series, man. I'm trying not to speculate. Yeah. I'm just actually enjoying it.
I think one thing that I'm not afraid to, I guess, speculate about is that I really hope that they go into, because they're hinting at explain to us what Thor is something more than just a god, right? Like that's what it seems like they're hinting at, and I'm not saying that. These are just hints. I'm extrapolating from shit that I read, but I'm excited to hopefully see more about what Thor is and more of an explanation of his power set, right? Because it's. Before he lost his hammer, a lot of his power was associated with his hammer. But since he's lost his hammer, we're starting to learn that his power comes from somewhere else. So I'm really curious to, explore that further.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. There's an issue with Thor where he's talking to Odin, and Odin was asking him all these questions. Like, have you become a cosmic... This was fun. Did you go to space to become a cosmic god yet? That's what it was. So, I'm wondering if that's next for him. Yeah. Does he leave Earth and become a cosmic god?
We know he eventually does, though, right? Is that what they're referring to when
I'm wondering.
Time skips?
I'm wondering. Yeah. But I'm also trying to figure out, like, my biggest concern... Not my concern, but my biggest wonder is Mjolnir actually gone?
Seems like it's old.
Yeah, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, and if that's the case, is Mangog dead?
I don't think Mangog ever dies.
Yeah, like.
Did you read those? You read that Mighty Thor one, right? Mangog?
I saw what happened.
Yo, when you get a chance, read that whole run. He's probably one of the scariest villains. Period. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
what can beat him
when you're taking on the War God.
Yeah.
Odin.
Yeah.
Thor.
Yeah.
And Thor, Jane Foster.
And all of Asgard. Yeah.
And you're still losing. So basically, Jane Foster had to go. You know the best place to. This will make sense to you when I explain it. Mm-hmm. You know who Darwin is, right? Mm-hmm. So Darwin.
Rest in peace, Darwin. I hate you, Fox. Go ahead.
So I don't think he's dead. But there was an issue of World War Hulk. It was a crossover with the X-Men, and Darwin was fighting the Hulk. He jumped on his back, and his body created a gamma absorbing thing. Yeah. But it couldn't absorb it all. And then the Hulk punched him. And then he disappeared. Because the best place to be to fight the Hulk is not around the Hulk. Yeah. So the best place to fight a Mangog is to get him as far away from her.
Get away. Well, don't be a god. 2. Yeah.
Alright, we're going to take one more break, and we'll be back with the end of the episode.
On the count of 3. Name your favorite podcast. 1, 2, 3.
Justin versus Justin.
Whoa! Did we just become best friends?
Best friends named Justin with the same name?
Oh my god, but spelled differently?
No way!
Alright, you want to go do impressions out in the garage?
Yes.
Awesome, let's do it!
Wow, this is so amazing!
Justin versus Justin podcast. Now available on iTunes and YouTube.
Alright, man, we are in the home stretch of this motherfucker.
Woo woo!
Thank you all for listening this far. We're going to end this with some talk on Tyreek Hill.
Father of the year.
Father of the year, man. Father of the year, husband of the year.
Baby daddy of the year.
Resident piece of shit.
Of the year.
Oh, it's too early in the year to crown him like the piece of shit of the year, but he's in the running. So explain to the audience, for those who don't know, who Tyreek Hill is.
So Tyreek Hill he's a football player. Plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I don't know much about him, but I'm assuming he's had some issues with domestic violence in the past. And recently he's been suspended because of audio that was released of him. One, talking about abuse that was done to his child. So apparently his child had a broken arm.
Ooh.
And his child told the mom that his dad did it. Tyreek Hill did it. And so the mom, on the audio, you hear the mom asking, why is our son saying you did it? And she said that our son's afraid of you. And he's like, well, bitch, you should be afraid of me too.
Yo, are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious.
Fuck that guy, man. You should be afraid of me too.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
That's as far as we know so far. So what we know that this conversation prompted Overland Park Police Department to reopen a previous domestic violence case on Tyreek Hill.
Alright.
It's crazy, bro.
What can we do? I'm just looking to see if we have anything else out here. Looking to see if anything happened a little while ago. Chiefs Clark Hunt says little, but speaks volumes about his attitude towards Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, you're getting the normal stuff, like the chief owner saying they're deeply disturbed, and probably the NFL might put out a statement or whatever, but, I think the NFL at this point has a pretty zero tolerance policy for this type. I hope they do at this point.
Unfortunately, I think it really depends on the player.
How good is he? I don't know.
I don't know. I watch football.
Okay.
But I think that's what it comes down to. I think it really all depends on how good the player is.
Yeah.
Is how they determine things. But which is weird because there was like this NFL kicker like a few years ago who's had multiple domestic violence cases.
Yeah.
And it took him to like the third domestic violence case for them to actually do something about it.
I think mainly because he is a kicker, right? And the fact that since he's a kicker, maybe a lot of people don't know who he is, so it's not getting in the spotlight.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But why does it even matter? Like you know what I mean?
It's a business. If he's doing what he needs to do for the team, I'm not saying this is right. I'm just saying this is reality, especially with organizations like the NFL. If you're doing what you need to do to bring money and revenue into the team, and you're not embarrassing the team publicly, they'll let you get away with all types of shit. I'm assuming. Allegedly. Don't sue us, NFL.
Allegedly. The NFL doesn't give a fuck about us.
No, you're selling us short, man.
What did
We're the number one old man wage show in the country.
For real. What did Eminem say? I mentioned you, lose for me, win for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, NFL, please.
Yes. But don't sue us. But
don't sue us.
Mention us.
Mention us. Neither one of us got any fucking money.
Add us with very negative tweets.
For real. Negative tweet us. Yeah, please do. Just don't go the route. Just don't go the fan of don't go comic book angry rant at us because you know what I mean, because that's just again gross.
Yeah, it's very gross. But yeah, man, what do you think? So I know you've told yourself, you decided to not take the kid route for a while. So I don't know. Do you have any?
Man. For a while, man. I got a vasectomy, dog. I have no kids.
It's just reversible.
I don't give a fuck.
You just gotta go back on the knife.
Let me tell you, man. My wife was just looking at me all sorts of ways. We were watching a TV show and this baby was crying. I was like, dear God, it's like nails on a chalkboard. She's like, it's a baby. And I'm like, yeah, they're annoying.
Oh my God.
I don't like kids.
Yeah, I'm going to make babysit my kids all the time. It's going to be hilarious.
As soon as they can go to the bathroom by themselves, cool.
Nah, B. You changing all types of...
I am not changing a motherfucking diaper. I don't even hold kids. I don't even hold babies until they...
It's going to happen.
You can think that.
All right. If I throw my baby at you, you drop him. You either holding the baby or we fighting. It's one of the two.
There was an episode of The Simpsons where Homer had Maggie. He goes, "Oh, it's easy here, catch."
Yeah, exactly. You know the instincts will kick in.
What the fuck, man?
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So what do you think about corporal punishment of children?
I'm from the era where I've had people say put your hands down. I'm gonna pop you in the chest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got this. Stop crying, or I'm gonna make you cry even more.
Yeah. What are you crying for? You're
beating me with a belt. That's why I'm crying.
You want something to cry for? Type of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I was watching my little brother, like I would pop him on the hand.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't but I think there's a difference between whooping, disciplining, and like irreversible scarring.
Like breaking arms and
breaking arms, like that's you need to get the shit beat out of you for doing that.
Facts.
Like he deserves whatever. Like he deserves whatever negative thing happens to him. If he actually broke his kid's arm, fuck that dude, man. Mm-hmm. And then for him to say to his wife, "You should be afraid of me too." Yeah. Fuck you, man. Seriously?
I don't get that shit. I don't get it, man.
So like, I also think that like physical violence should be like a last resort. Like, you know what I mean?
But I feel like, and again, I don't have kids, but I've been living with a child for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like as a man, like, and this might, I don't know how this comes across, but I feel like as a man, right, you should be able to get a child to respect you with a look in your voice.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Like there's certain things that like should be said. Like someone said, like one of the I think it was Chris Rock who said something like, "Nothing is scarier than I'm gonna tell your daddy."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Or what's the TV show? Wait till your father gets home.
Yeah. Like what are they doing? How are they getting to the point where you feel it's necessary to break down?
The one time my father whooped me was because I almost got hit by a car running into the street to go get a toy.
So we see he thought he was gonna lose you.
Yeah.
He was scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what I never did? This one I never did again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also when I was a kid, I also had a respectable amount of fear of my parents.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I got
Was it fear or was it respect?
Both.
Yeah.
No, it's fair.
No, it was just cold-blooded fear.
It was cold-blooded fear.
They were gonna kill me.
But yeah, it wasn't like, oh, but they're gonna kill me. It was just like, you know, like fear your parents like you're supposed to fear God, like that type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? So there was, and like I remember my mother, like I was acting up in public, and you know, if you're black and you act up in public,
it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my mother was like, when we get home, we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
So we got home. And I thought she was joking, and she kept telling me. First started with the psychological warfare. And then we got up to the stairs, and she goes, "I hope you're ready." And I start crying. She goes, don't try that now."
Yo, so I'm not black is such a traumatic experience. You know, I don't think people understand, bro. Like,
so my mom was like, she was like, "Put your hands up."
Oh, shit.
So I 2 shots to the chest, 1 shot to the stomach, and 2 shots to the chest. It was a wrap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
TKO.
Yeah. Combo.
Combo breaker. No combo breakers.
No breaker.
No breaker.
It's just a combo. So now man.
Child abuse.
But guess what? I never did again.
Yeah.
I never acted up in public again.
Nah.
Fuck that noise, man. That was good. So yeah, man. I think there's a difference, like, you know what I mean, between whooping somebody and then like doing something like that's going to cause someone to put in the hospital. And if you're a man telling a woman you should be scared of me, or a woman telling a man you need to be scared of me, and you're married to this person, this is supposed to be someone you love, you need help, man.
Nah, this dude's definitely again. I don't know how alleged this stuff is, but if they have audio tape of him saying this stuff and he's suspended by the NFL, and again, the NFL isn't trying to suspend anybody; they don't have to, right? So I'm fairly certain that this shit's legit. This dude's definitely he has some violent tendencies. And it's sad that we continue to allow people like this to make millions of dollars, right? Without any type of hate, you know? You should probably like calm your shit down a little bit, right? We don't care.
There's no consequences to their actions.
There's no consequences until it adversely affects whatever corporation or team they're working for.
I also think
right?
that's fucking but there's also a theory that people do things because they think they're never going to get touched. Like there's nothing you can do about it.
I bet you he did. I bet you this dude did so much crazy shit in college.
I'm certain.
And they just swept it under the rug.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that could genuinely be the case, but because he thinks he's untouchable, there's like, well, okay, well, what the fuck are you gonna do to me? Like, you know what I mean? So you don't say something like you should be afraid of me too, if you think you're being recorded, like, you know what I mean? And even then, he might have thought he was being recorded, but was like, and I don't mean this to her. He's probably like, this bitch ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's probably what he was
this
thinking.
This bitch recorded this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually, you know what I mean? And after hearing about this, man, like, I hope he doesn't do anything crazy and goes after her.
I hope not. But, shit. It sucks because, one, I hope you were smart with your money.
You know, what is it, Jalen Rose says, those NFL contracts are written on toilet paper?
Yeah.
But, like, if all this stuff comes out and it's true, fuck them.
I don't feel bad.
Not even a little bit.
Hopefully this will teach you a lesson. Hopefully it taught you a lesson before. Well, you already broke your kid's arm, which is already fucked up. You should already go to jail for that shit. But hopefully after you serve your time, and you lose some millions of dollars, I really hope that you learn a valuable lesson and you change your attitude towards the way you treat people.
Yeah, but if this dude goes to jail for domestic violence, he should get some big 300-pound muscle-bound dude named Bubba who should walk up to him and go, "You should fear me."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to walk around scaring people? Let you see how that shit feels like when you have to be scared of somebody. Mm-hmm. When you're fearing for your life. When you got to worry about whether or not some dude's going to run up there and break your fucking arm.
I hate bullies on man.
Yeah.
I fucking, like, that's the one thing, I will fight somebody I feel is a bully. Like, I fucking hate, I hate bullies. And I think that this goes back to, like, our first segment about toxic fans and stuff like that. I think a lot of them are bullies, right? Or people that aspire to be bullies. Yeah. And they're the fucking worst, bro. Period. I think, like, that, a lot of the issues we have with society has a lot to do with people like Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? Has a lot to do with people that are toxic fans, that are just out here just making life hard for people that they perceive as victims or perceive as vulnerable. It's fucked up. Sorry.
No, none of the apologize for. I agree with you. I agree with everything you just said, man. It's an unfortunate thing. Yeah. People suck. But there's really not much we can do about it at this point. All we can do is spread the word and let people know that, like, being a bully and being a piece of shit isn't the way to go about things, man. And that's what we're here for, Old Man Weird. So we're here for the jokes. We're also here for the informative conversations.
And this is a good beer. Like, I've been drinking the same beer since we started this episode.
It's a good sipping beer.
It's and I didn't know it was Lord Hobo Brewing Company.
Yeah, I happened to walk past there and I saw it. It was a Mausoleum?
Museum. Triple IPA. Yeah. Juicy and hazy.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's kind of rad. Kind of like it.
It's good shit. Bye, everybody.
This has been the Old Man Wade Show. I want to thank Supa Woke Javi.
Yo.
Don't forget, visit oldmanwade.com.
Oldmanwade.com!
Dude, my wife's sleeping.
Sorry.
She gonna kill you.
Yeah, she really will. But it was worth it.
So yeah, don't forget to visit oldmanwade.com. Articles and stuff like that. There'll be more coming on the way. And until then,
damn it, Wade!
Damn it, Wade!